Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here, and I've got a bunch of awesome people with me today. I have Jeannie Henderson, I've got Gosia Barron, I've got Ajia Holiday, I've got Dr. Gavin McGregor Skinner. Hey, Dr. Gavin. I've got Liliane Lima, and I have RJ Patel. And this isn't Smart Business Moves, by the way. It's something very special, though. We're going to be talking today about I almost said ARCSI, an ISSA residential, the association formerly known as ARCSI or RXC, regional event that's going to be in Rockville, Maryland, coming up April 9 at Liliane Lima's office. Liliane, are you excited about us all coming up and visiting you in April?
We are super excited. We are honored to have the regional event here. It's always fun to visit office, to learn about other companies operate, and this is our turn. So we are ready to have a bunch of business owners here and share about culture, tools we use, our operations. So it's gonna be a lot of fun for sure.
Well, and I know that ISSA Residential has been picking up the pace a little bit on regional events. And we had one not that long ago, wasn't it just a few weeks ago in Austin, Texas? Some of y'all were at that, I believe. How did that go?
It was amazing, right, Jeannie?
That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Gosia. Yeah, it was great. And every one of these events seems to be picking up steam and more people want to come. Eventually, we might not be able to actually hold the event in an office. We may have to rent a space because of how large these events are becoming, but they're a lot of fun.
The Austin one, we had a great turnout. Over 70 people, I believe, we had in attendance. So,
Holy cow.
yeah, it was amazing.
So tell us a little bit about what a regional event looks like. Is it, education? Is it networking? Is it like getting together and having fun? I mean, what's it like? What do we do?
Well, I can take that one. So the goal of regional events for ISSA Residential is to give people opportunities to interact with our community in person. We get to participate in a lot of webinars online through ISSA, and we have our monthly coffee and conversation that Gosia and RJ host. But this gives us an opportunity to interact in person. We bring in some industry experts to present at these events. So it's education, community, and then we get to learn directly from a business owner how they have achieved success. And so this last one, we were at Maids and More in Austin, Texas, and learned so much about how they have built a thriving and very large, successful cleaning business. And they opened their doors and shared all their secrets. And those people out there who are thinking about, wanting to grow their business, this is a great opportunity to peek behind the curtain of how successful, thriving businesses get started and how they grow.
And there's an educational component to it as well. We're going to have some speakers at the one that we're going to be doing up in Rockville. Dr. Gavin, I don't know if all of our residential members know, maybe some of them we haven't even really done, talked about GBAC a whole lot. Could you maybe take a minute and explain what GBAC is, your role, and what you're going to be doing at this event?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. This is such a great opportunity, as Jeannie was saying, to share experiences, tell some stories, but also focus on what works and how to ensure that, again, our whole mission here is how to clean for health and how that applies to residential buildings, which is my home is a residential building. And it's really interesting, Tom, to think about, I'll throw this at you. How many buildings do we have in the US? Do you know we know that number?
Wow. What is it?
It's about 140 million.
Holy cow.
How many of those buildings are homes, Tom?
Most of them?
Yep, you're right. 90%, 100 million of the 140 billions in the buildings in the US are actually residential spaces. They're homes, people's homes. And so when you look at the ISSA residential community, it's so critical to create healthy, safe indoor spaces for nearly every American.
Okay.
And it's that critical mission that we need to focus on. And so what I wanted to emphasize, and I'll talk about this in my workshop, is where did you spend most of your time today or even yesterday, Tom? Well, I spent most of my time indoors. You can see
Yeah.
over my shoulder, there's my air purification system up here in the attic because that's where I live. And that keeps me safe and secure from whatever else is healthy, from whatever else going around me. But it's really important that as cleaning professionals, we learn that, again, cleaning is the removing of dirt. We've got to remove something, but we need to also remove the dirt, the contaminants, the germs, the bacteria, the viruses in a way that we can measure our effectiveness. So we're going to talk about some stories. I'm going to bring some toys with me, Tom. I'm going to bring actually some stuff with me to show you how I measure cleanliness in certain different buildings, and the way that we might be able to leverage some of those tools, equipment, technology in people's homes. And because we know that every home is different, we know that people who live in homes could be a whole plethora. It's so many different situations that we could be facing. They could be healthy, they could have cancer, they could have underlying medical conditions, they could have other conditions that we need to clean for. And that's really important, that education, that training, that continuous improvement ensures that we meet what the customer requires in their home. And it's just I'd even put this up there, Tom. This is a national security issue. I just said it. It's a national security issue if we can't clean homes properly.
Well, and it's interesting because, going back to the ARCSI days, we just had our 20th, anniversary, and, the industry has grown, it's evolved, and there's been a greater sense of awareness of, cleaning is like the front line of defense in healthcare. Okay. And we have a responsibility as professional house cleaning companies, employing professional house cleaners, to do something more than just make the house look good. And we're all looking for ways to compete in the marketplace and differentiate ourselves from all of the people that are out there just trying to clean homes at the lowest dollar. And everything that you're explaining here seems like it is the opportunity to accomplish so many wonderful things at the same time: cleaning for health, creating a better environment, not only for the people who live in these homes, but for the people that are cleaning them, being more competitive in the marketplace. And you're going to be bringing tools. So I'm assuming this is adenosine triphosphate meters and all kinds of neat stuff that we can play with too, huh?
Yeah, I think it's important, Tom. A lot of the cleaning professionals in our ISSA residential community that I've worked with over the years really haven't had that access to those tools. We need to sit down and work out how we make that part of the business so that there's a return on investment. And so it's not like you must do this and be prescriptive. It's like, no, how do we bring more value? How do we define ourselves? How do we ensure that what we do is considered essential? My house has been cleaned by Maria and her company now for 18 years. And they're all really nervous when I try to start conversations on cleaning day in my house, because I really want to know what they're doing, because they know who I am. And I go, hey, guys, come in. But we have so much fun just going around my house with my tools going, look at that, you did an awesome job. And I can measure cleanliness. I can show them how effective and what they do follows science and evidence-based principles. It's so awesome.
It's going to be so much fun.
I have to say that would be nerve-wracking, Dr. Gavin.
So glad that we are not cleaning Dr. Gavin's house.
Jeannie, I'm with you. I'm told by my family, stay in the attic. Just stay where you belong. Stop harassing the staff. But we do have fun. We really do.
So looking forward to your presentation, though. I think I agree that we do need to learn more about this. And I love the statistics that you shared. That's great.
Right.
Yeah, and we'll bring a personal note, Tom. My mum had cancer, and I am so grateful to the cleaning staff that cleaned my mum and dad's house for many years and just made it safe for her while she had cancer. Her immune system was low. It was diminished.
Sure.
She was on chemotherapy. And I know exactly how they cleaned that house. And I just appreciate the fact they took the time and the effort to meet my mum's needs.
You know, Tom, who else appreciates what Dr. Gavin, when he brings his gadgets, are the people at the hospital in Fiji. The three of us went there about 6 months ago, and our goal was to teach them some cleaning methods and tools and ways, but we realized quickly upon arrival that they didn't have anything. What they were cleaning with were old cut-up bed sheets. So
Wow.
what
Okay.
Dr. Gavin's talking about, cleaning for health and not just the appearance, is absolutely true. When you look at that, so these kids are having open heart surgeries over here in the theater, and they come to this initial recovery room. To the eye, it looks absolutely clean. It is very clean until Dr. Gavin takes out his gadgets and starts measuring the touch point, high touch point, which in this case, the lady chose the bed rail, and he measured it to begin with, and any number below 200 is safe, considered safe. And this number, you guys want to take a guess what it came in at?
I know, so I cannot say
I
it.
already heard this from
It's
you
got to be a big
before. I was
number. I
amazed.
don't know, 1,000.
So Ajia gets to guess.
Go ahead.
Guess
1,400.
1,001.
Be ridiculous.
1,400.
700?
What is it?
700?
It was over 9,000.
Whoa.
I thought I was being ridiculous with 1,400.
I said be ridiculous. So that 9,000, it gives you an idea of how many germs, how much, like Dr. Gavin says, making the invisible visible. Now we're showing them, hey, look what exists on these surfaces. And if a kid whose immune system is down, just like his mom was at the recovery period, are they susceptible to catch something? And our goal was to go in there, show them, give them the tools. And Gosia and I had taken 2 suitcases full of microfiber towels, brushes, sponges, you name it, whatever we could fit in a suitcase, we did.
Okay.
And we used.
Did you have any idea that they were truly cleaning with rags?
They didn't know any better.
No. I guess that was all they had, huh?
Yeah.
That's all they had. That's the knowledge base.
Yeah, but RJ, how much scrubbing and elbow grease did we put into those bed rails?
We didn't put any effort into them except use the right tools.
Yep.
And by the right tools, we took 400 GSM microfiber towels. And Dr. Gavin, we have this on video. Dr. Gavin had the hospital staff doing the cleaning with a dry microfiber towel with a 400 GSM count. And then we retested it again. And she did the entire exercise. And guess what that number dropped to with a dry microfiber towel? From 9,058 to...
Ajia, Lily, what do you think? Tom?
10.
Close. It was 30.
Okay.
30.
Wow.
So
Those are
diseases, infections that are contracted in the hospitals are really a nasty thing. And, infection control is such a huge part of it. So what you guys were doing, I'm sure, truly will result in saved lives over a period of time.
Yeah, but not only that, Tom, we showed that, again, that surface was dirty because of the number we got from the ATP meter. And we showed that with the right tool, which happened to be microfiber in this case, and we didn't wet it with water. We just used a dry. We could have put, again, the electrostatic properties, that magic magnet of microfiber works even better when you just moisten it with a bit of water.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even using. We haven't even spent money on chemicals yet. We haven't spent money on solvents. We haven't done. We're just using a piece of microfiber cloth, and we showed that we could meet the definition of cleaning. Remove. We removed what was on there to go from 9,000 down to 30. And that means that it's not just the bacteria that removed, all the other contaminants, the dirt, whatever else that was removed as well by that microfiber. And that's what we were trying to show because, again, come to my house one day, Jeannie, you'll see that I've got all these indoor air quality monitors that go off every time they spray stuff. And I know when my wife's downstairs cooking, and I'm up in there, there are things, indoor air quality is also our responsibility. So what we were showing here, Tom, was that, again, using the right tool in the right place at the right time is going to save you money, give you more return on your investment as a cleaning professional.
Absolutely.
So when you guys come to that event, this is what we are going to learn. Is that right? Right.
We're going to play.
Jeannie, you're going to be doing a presentation at this regional event as well, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, I'm really excited to share my presentation with everyone who's coming. And I also am a Made Central user, so it kind of ties into my use with Made Central. But my presentation is called Fortunes in the Feedback. And so we really focus on feedback on my team at Jeannie Cleaning. And we have learned over the years how important it is to our growth to not only respond to feedback, but to get as much of it as we possibly can to analyze that data and apply the information that we learn in our business. And so I'll be talking about the importance of feedback, how to get more of it, and then how to treat every piece of feedback as a gift, and how to then respond properly to that feedback and use that feedback, 10x your feedback to grow your business. So you can use feedback from the client side and from the employee side. And so I'll be covering that topic from beginning to end, but I'm really excited to share it.
That sounds awesome. Feedback is important data. And if you're able to collect that, organize it, find trends in it, you can improve your business in so many ways, get better outcomes.
Oh, I love that approach, Jeannie, that you've taken, because I've been trying to work with residential cleaning professionals while going, do a survey, ask 4 or 5 questions. Oh, no, we can't do that. We go in, we're sort of, we're silent, we walk through, we do our job in a couple of hours and we leave and we get paid. No, do a survey. Get some feedback on your professionalism. Get some feedback on what people are looking for when they go, oh, wow, my house is so nice and clean.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is people think that feedback always means a negative thing. And so they're afraid to ask for it. And they treat it as like no news is good news. And so they don't want to ask for feedback, but it's actually the positive feedback that acts as fuel for your team to get them excited about doing what they do and doing it well. And most of the feedback, last week, I think it was 96% or 97% of our feedback was like 100% positive.
Wow.
And 3% was constructive, right? But all of it is important, and we learn from all of it. And I recently consulted with a janitorial team in a church nearby where I live, and they were not getting any feedback, and they were having rampant turnover on their team. And I said, well, you need to change the fact that your team is never hearing from the end user that they're doing a good job. You can tell them all day that you think they're doing a good job, but if they don't hear from the person whose lives they're impacting by the work that they do, that they're doing a good job, they're going to lose their passion.
Right.
So I will tell you this exactly to what you're saying. We are using Made Central as well. And actually, we had an employee come in yesterday and she was asking my general manager, what can I do to get more feedback from clients? I want to know how I'm doing. They want to know every day how they are making a difference in people's lives, right?
Yeah.
It excites them to see the good feedback because they are putting so much hard work to it.
Yeah.
See how they are doing. So yes, that's priceless.
I
Absolutely.
mean, it's a human need to know how what we do makes a difference. And so feedback is such a big part of that. And I bought my business actually back in 2015, 2016 from some friends who were getting out of the business. And they had 50 clients at that time. So I basically bought their client list. And I said, so tell me, what kind of feedback are you getting from your clients? And they're like, oh, we never ask for feedback. And she literally said, no news is good news.
I've heard it described as like bowling with a sheet in front of the pins, where you're rolling the ball down the lane, the ball goes underneath the sheet, you hear things rattling around, but you really can't see what you did. Without feedback, that's really what you're doing. So you don't know how you're doing, you don't know how to get better, and it's not very satisfying not being able to get that type of feedback on your results. So what you're doing is a win on so many fronts.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to share it with everyone. So that's one of the many reasons to come, but we have several. We have Gavin speaking, I'm speaking, Ajia will be speaking.
Ajia, what are you speaking on?
Yeah, I'm doing my all-time favorite topic always, but really how to unlock some operational excellence with the right software and KPI management. So kind of going into, it's not just about how many homes you clean. Nobody's in this business for, to clean the most homes. I mean, that could be part of it, but also, delivering the best service that you can, and how to manage that on the operational side. There's a lot of different ways to make sure that you're giving the right value of service for what they're paying. Just really embracing technology, understanding that there's lots of ways to get this information, and it's important to have, and it's important to track ongoing. If you test something and it has 9,000 germ molecules on it at one time and then 30 on the next, but you don't keep testing it and that 9,000 comes back, you're missing out. So it's the same idea of what we're doing within our businesses, making sure that you're bringing, your 9,000 things wrong down, and knowing what to look at and when to look at it. And just really, really, pushing forward your technology into your operational ability. So I'm very excited. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. So I'm pumped.
There's a lot of different ways to get feedback, and your KPIs, the data that you collect from running your business, is very important feedback as well, and knowing what to do with it.
And it's sometimes something that people get a little scared of too. It's the same idea of asking for feedback. If you don't know, you're not doing anything for it. And it was really funny when you were talking about that, Jeannie, with them saying, "Oh, we don't ask for it." And there's an element of that in business operations too, of, oh, we don't ask for it because we don't think it's going well. That's what I feel like is the unsaid portion of that statement of, well, we don't look at that because we don't think it's going well. And it's like, okay, well, maybe it isn't going well, but if you don't know what you could aim for or what things you could do to improve that, just ignoring it doesn't mean that it's going to get better. So there's lots of ways to make really good data-driven decisions. And if you just hide from your data, then you're not able to do anything with it. So it's the same kind of idea that if you don't ask, you can't do anything. So can't hide from it. No being fearful of your data.
So Liliane, you're going to be hosting us at this event. We're going to be meeting at your office. I know a lot of our ISSA residential members know you. You've been a active member for a long time, but just take a moment and tell us about your business and what we're going to see when we're at your office.
Okay. I started with ISSI years ago. I love it. Back then it was ARCSI, and love to be part of it. It was in one event that I met RJ, and super cool person since, very nice every time. So I have learned a lot with members from the industry. So we are located in Rockville, and like I said, we are honored to host the event. I have been in many regional events, and every time I learn a lot. So this time we are welcome everyone, and we don't have a huge office, but very functional because we have everything that we need in the building. So this is like an idea that's like gonna have a really cool office in a smaller space. So we have everything that we need, space for meeting and where we meet with our employees and where we have our meetings and we have like all kinds of cool stuff in our office that we would love to share. And also we're gonna be meeting on downstairs, like it's a huge area there, like lots of space for to hang out and happy hour, and then the space where we're gonna be learning about all the topics. And it's very central area here, so we are close to eating out, going for a walk if you need a break. So it's a really pleasant space.
Outstanding. We're really looking forward to this, and we're really hoping that a lot of people here in the residential cleaning community will come out and join us. If you want to know more about the regional event, I'll see if I can share a screen here. I'm sorry. I
Tom,
just
as you're pulling up the screen, Dr. Gavin, you live in Washington. Lily, you're in Washington. Tell us about the weather that time of year.
Well, for me, RJ, I should have bought shares in Allegra and Clariton years ago. It's allergy season. I'm taking my Allegra twice a day right now, otherwise just to survive.
It's cherry blossom season, but it's beautiful. I grew up there. It's beautiful this time of year. You're going to love it.
Absolutely gorgeous weather. Cherry blossoms are incredible and in masses.
It's very, very special, Tom. If you're in this area and you're visiting for the first or maybe even the second time, make sure you see the cherry blossoms. They are spectacular. There's over 3,000 cherry blossom trees here in DC.
How long do they bloom for?
Very quickly. They have a 6-stage bloom. They're at stage 4. They are expected to peak in the next 10 days or so, and then we'll get a storm and they'll all drop. But they are something else.
I'm really excited to see them.
And there's a few other things. I dropped a link. I'm at the residential.issa.com. I'm going to tell you a little secret. If you go to arcsi.org, it will redirect you here as well. But this is how you register for the event. And there's also ISSA Clean Advocacy Summit that follows this regional event, a couple of days, all contiguous for that week. We're also doing an MCA Live event Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at this week, and we're doing it at Liliane's office as well. So why don't you go ahead and plan on spending the whole week with us? And I'm saying, Rockville, it's Maryland, but technically we're in a suburb of DC. It feels like you're in Washington.
And a coupon just came out today for the ISSA Regional.
Very good. Well, I
So
think that we're
seeing everyone at the event.
We're all going to be there, and we're pretty much at the end of our time here. So we're going to go ahead and call this a take again. Residential.issa.com if you want to learn more about it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to hit up any of us. We're all kind of hanging out on Facebook. Would love to answer questions and get into more details if that would be helpful. Everybody, thanks so much for participating in this. Look forward to seeing you a few weeks up in DC. Y'all take care.
See you
Great.
soon.
Thanks, everybody.